but we're not going to get into that. We got a different flavor of bat. We got Metaknight. And we got Rags' Metaknight versus Sinji and his Pacman. Game 1 going to be on Battlefield. It's going to be a very interesting match. And the reason I say that is just because how often does Rags get a chance to fight against a Pacman of Sinji's flavor? He does get to fight against Pacman's seldomly in MDVA.
Sinji's flavor? I like that. I like that a lot. You got that secret sauce. But no, I mean, I think you bring up an amazing point, right? For Rags, I mean, granted, Sinji is like the Pacman now, right? You know, there was that time where, you know, we had some other players kind of sticking with Pacman, but most of them pretty much let him go. But Sinji's stuck with his character pretty much the entire time, and because of that, he's excelled to heights that a lot of people wouldn't have been able to excel. And I was talking to John Numbers the other day, talking about, like, you know, why did you stick with Wii Fit? And he was like, well, there's a time I put so much time into this character, I could just not let it go. And that's kind of the similar way it is for Sinji. He enjoys the character, he's pumped so much time that it'd be stupid, especially with how much time Smash 4 has left in its lifespan, to let go now.
And he's done a fine job of proving his mettle with this character, proving that Pacman has the capabilities to be an excellent trap master kind of character. And with enough time and space for setups, Sinji can turn any situation into a insurmountable wall of projectiles. One in particular that Metaknight doesn't really have a lot of tools for getting around. So when you're just able to play at the ledge like that, that's how Rags is going to be able to turn a lot of situations.
And speaking of traps, man, Sinji instead is the trap master, right? He's like a horror movie where there's, you know, you walk into a room, it's booby trap, there's cow props, there's anything you can imagine. Guillotine hiding behind the door. He has everything. You never really know what to expect when it comes to him. So we're going to see what kind of wonky setups he goes for today. You know, you've been watching Sinji for a long time, and you still find yourself surprised.
Oh, I love whenever he comes up with new tricks because he still actively practices this character. He's still researching things.
Oh my, really? No.
Damn. He really got called out for just walking. Rags was really, he just got like a jaywalking ticket.
Yeah, I like that.
That's basically what we just witnessed.
Hold it, what you doing there? Stop. You know, you have a freaking whistle. Get over here, boy. But for Rags, it's fine. You know, he only has a little bit of percent racked up on him. He's looking to rack up some more and see if he can actually go from Rags to riches, right? He's here at the
that's the MDVA classic.
Get that guap, so Rags to riches. Can he do it? This is the start of something nasty. Not going to go ahead and pull the trigger. Understanding that Pacman probably not going to die there. You know, even though he's that high up, doesn't want to risk it.
Yeah, Pacman's weird in that he's not as light as you would expect him to be, but he still sits ever so slightly below the line for like a comfortable character of his size. Now, I only say that just because like a lot of the ball characters, the orbular ones, tend to be a bit more floaty or light, but Pacman's just kind of normal.
Well, you know, something about Pacman makes it so that you kind of can see that in the way. Oh my God, eat that. Yep.
Hello, Rags.
Boom.
Rags to the setup too.
Hello, Rags, please come by. Well, Rags, like Pacman, he's kind of like, you look at Kirby, you're like, oh, like he looks kind of squishy, he looks floaty, right? You look at Jigglypuff, you get kind of the same. Oh, it's like a balloon, but for whatever reason, you look at Pacman, you can tell that he has mass. Like there's something in there. So,
I think it's in the nose.
I agree.
I think it's the nose.
He got a schnoz. We're going to go ahead and go to game 2 on Town and City.
Yo, big shout outs to both these players turning off the music because we were going to be enjoying the live band here at the Players Bowl, and then the band promptly leaving for this set. So we are treated to the wonderful Namco noises that Pacman erupts from, and a lot of slashing and flapping.
Yeah, a lot. And here we go. All right, he's going to go ahead and go back to the stage. Gets a nice carry, but it doesn't really actually give you a super large amount of damage. Like, it hurts. You want to explain that one real quick?
That's a classic. So Sinji has a very good understanding of how the fire hydrant is going to fly dependent on what moves knock back. Like, all moves have different angles. It's not a set angle for the hydrant, and it doesn't have fixed angles. It's a variety. And one thing that I always tell newcomers to fighting Sinji, or anyone who wants to play against Pacman, or even if you want to play Pacman, you have to recognize that you have to know your tools. Know how your tools are going to operate around another character. So when it comes to fighting Pacman, know what's the best for sending back the fire hydrant. But also, you have to be aware of how that fire hydrant is going to come towards you. And there is no player greater than Sinji when it comes to having an understanding of what his kid is going to do with this character. Please, not okay.
God.
I gotta give Rags more credit
He
than that.
almost got
Please
another
don't run
parking
into the
ticket,
melon.
man. Your second violation, that doesn't look good. Luckily for him, he managed to avoid all of that. He's going to pick up that. Oh, my God. Perfect shield on that. How do you get that?
See, this is the kind of play I want to see out of Rags, because Rags knows he can't get cheeky. He's fighting the master of playing cheeky, so he's got to play this really simple. He's got to play this close to his chest, and he's got to just play reactionary, and that's something that his Metaknight has always been very good at.
Really?
But I guess...
Really?
Man, you know, one thing I hate commentating is when you build up a player for one of their finest aspects, and then they have the reaction time of a newborn child. Like, come on, man.
I don't know, man. I've seen some pretty OD babies. Some children be up to amazing things nowadays, man.
I mean, hey, Light's still in winner's bracket.
Yeah, you're right, man. Oh, whoa, with Hydrant not being his friend, or maybe he had the second hit of the trampoline, so it goes a little bit higher. But all right, he's falling there, trying to build up that fruit. Rags just rolling his way through. Oh, where you at? Oh, where you at? Left, right. Where to go?
I love For Glory.
God, I love For Glory is my favorite game mode, bro. You kidding me? That's where I learned auto sticks. You think Nairo would have gotten as good as he is without For Glory?
That's enough of all that.
Looking like Keitaro out there. Ooh. Looking like that one clip of Larry Lurd dodging like 4 times on like Fawn.
Bringing ourselves back into the action at hand. I'll use that term just a little bit loosely until these players find their bearings. But it's been a scramble for control of the main stage. And they're rolling with good reason. There's so much danger afoot, especially as they sit on their last stocks for this game.
Oh, he managed to hit Sinji out of the side B and actually clip him enough so that he actually ends up dying to that down air. So nice awareness from Rags. He can go ahead and snag that game. Sinji's gonna go ahead and look toward the sky a little bit. Neither of them look too shaken up. They look like they're just ready to get into the next game. They both feel like they can win it. They're both confident. They just want to keep playing it out and see who the better player is, the one who is left standing at the end of the set.
And with Game 3 bringing us to Final Destination, I actually feel like this is going to be a very even-handed stage. The reason I say that is because, you know, Town and City, of course, being Rags' forte, but the fact that Rags has to play much more reactionary to Sinji's style of play and figuring out how to operate around these traps and tricks that he has, getting rid of platforms kind of makes that easier. Regardless if Rags wins or loses this game, he's going to be gathering a lot more information that he needs for fighting Sinji ahead.
Yeah, and that's kind of thing, right? You know, the plus side about being a character with projectiles and going to FD is that you limit the amount of ways your opponent can maneuver around the projectiles, right? So it makes the game a little more linear. But in the same vein, it also means you have less options in terms of setting up and dropping your projectiles. So it does give, it does take away, but we're going to see if Rags is able to capitalize on this, or if Sinji alternatively is going to be able to use this to simplify Rags' flowchart and get some more hits in.
You bring up a good note, too, about how both these players sort of have their flow charts, and Rags in particular has to expand his where it's needed. And I feel like he's been doing a very good job at hiding out when he needs to go for the traditional Metaknight things, because sometimes that happens.
That's going to be a yikes for me, big dog. Goes all the way up, goes for the shuttle loop, doesn't KO, can't even drift back all the way to the ledge. That was the first time he had opted to go for it at such a low percent. He was like, all right, I think this one should work, but... Oh, wait, this one should be fine, though.
There you go. Just like Mama used to make. Excellent shuttle loop combo from Rags.
I like that.
He's got to even it up somehow, and if you're going to keep it tried and true, throw away all the tech, throw away the skill. Just know your up air and your up B connect eventually.
Yeah, that's fair. Just go for that Aunt Jemima pancake mix. Like, it'll work every time. It'll never do you wrong.
And the battle bringing us back to its...
oh, my God.
That locked, too.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's a spicy one from Sinji. I've seen him get a lock similar to that like once before, but never like purposely getting the fire hydrant hit forward.
Yeah, I mean, Sinji was being a bully, holding him by the lockers, right? It's like, oh, where do I go? Ah, ow, don't hurt me, please. But Rags doing all right. He has a decent amount of rage built up, not a lot of damage built on the Sinji, but we know that for Metaknight, that's not really the biggest thing, right? You get that dash attack, you get your up air string, and you're good to go. So we need to see how Sinji's going to close this out, because he's probably going to build up a lot more rage onto Rags before he's able to get the KO, unless he finds a really cheeky bell setup. It looks like he's going for that now.
I have to respect Rags approaching with shield as much as he is, because he has no idea what to expect next at this point. He's sitting at a percentage deficit. Sinji's got the bell in hand. This stock can explode from it any moment. Now that he doesn't have that worry of bonus fruit looming over him, like, it's a little bit safe. Hello?
Yeah, I'm a little confused on that one as well. Gonna accidentally butt dial the operator, but it's all right. Looks like Shinji's gonna go ahead, gets the bell, not gonna be able to get the actual connection with the hit though, but he's been pulling it out quite a bit. He's looking to close this now. Doesn't want to build too much, any more rage if he can. Onto Rags, gets caught with one anti-air. He could very well die.
It's worth noting right now that for the bonus fruit, it's the key that's loaded. It's going to do plenty of percentage on the shield, but it's the apple that's going to pop Rags up. I feel like apple in particular is going to be a really good bonus fruit to throw around here.
Yeah.
Just because of the trajectory that it launches.
Oh, he's good. All right, he gets out of that. That was looking scary for Sinji. Sinji now can go ahead and find his way back down. Throws out the hydrant, gets in there, going to charge up that neutral B. How is he going to be able to get this kill? Or will he even get it? Rags just needs to get one more open like we just saw, and that could be it for Sinji.
Sinji hunting around once again with the bonus key into Fire Hydrant. It's not going to get him much of anything. Rags playing incredibly patient right now, as there's less than 2 minutes on the clock. Yo, he's got the key in hand. Now it's all about what he's going to do with it. He's just going to chuck it away. That's fine. But now we're reaching those percentages where Rags has to be careful, because the first hit of Shuttle Loop is not going to be connecting where it needs to.
Oh my goodness, that back air almost killed. And now we do have Rags at Mal. Oh, he goes for the footstool! Annihilating Sinji's stock. It was looking so good for Sinji, right? Like he bounced off of his dome, though, to say, hold on, sit down.
Give him those size 3 wides. Metaknight finally coming in.
You're never ahead. Feels bad, though, if you're Sinji, honestly. Like,
yeah.
Play all of your cards right, it seems, right? You're slowly nickeling and diming. You're trying to end the stock before he has max rage as well. But the rage didn't even end up being a deciding factor in that game because it was just a gimp.
And logically, Game 4 going to bring us back to Final Destination. The stage really didn't have that big of an impact onto this this battle. If anything, I felt like it just sort of exacerbated the patient play from both of these players. And the fact that Rags is able to adapt so quickly and so fluidly, I feel like spells high to how he can bring the rest of this set, assuming he can beat Sinji in this game and end things out. The reason I'm presented as such is because Rags has been very slowly figuring out, all right, Sinji does this when I pressure him like this. He's not focused too much on, well, what's this bonus fruit going to do, or what do I have to worry about with the Hydrant? Just looking at Sinji, looking past the projectiles, seeing how's the Trap Master going to respond.
I like it, right? You see, Sinji actually makes it very ambiguous for Rags whether or not he's going to be able to go for that Shuttle Loop conversion. The first couple up airs, you see him holding in, and when it comes to the final two, suddenly it's far away, and Rags is like, oh crap, I can't go for the Shuttle Loop. I thought it was going to happen this time. But good for Sinji now, still trying to build a little bit more, and it's actually amazing how he plays the defensive game as well, how he's able to set up shop, throw these projectiles, and make it so that it's difficult for Rags to find his way in. Look at this defense from Sinji, honestly.
Really interesting play from Sinji in this in the defensive note is he's just going for basic throw of the bell, and it's worth noting he's doing this to anti-air. He's throwing it up because its angle covers the air so well, and now bringing it right back down onto Rags.
One of those things. So here come the Yerks!
Yours are popping off on all sides right now.
Welcome to New York, baby. Tri-State at its finest. But we're going to see Rags try to go for the Shuttle Loop on Sinji. That's not quite going to land. She's going to go ahead and grab that fruit. You know, I was going ahead and gassing up how Sinji was so smart about his defensive play. But in the same vein, Rags has been amazing as well with his options to choose to get around the aggression. That's going to be a beautiful defensive option once again from Sinji. But jumping his way around these hydrants, finding these down and finding his way in. Oh my goodness, Galley.
Look at his juggle.
He's trying to find him.
Oh! But it ends in Rags' favor, as coming down with Dimensional Cape on the Hydrant is just what he needs to not only break the combo, but Pacman's skull across the floor.
He's going to drag him all the way down, making him look like a Neanderthal. He's going to crush the skull, if you will. And now Sinji has him at 170%. It was similar like this last time. He's almost there. He needs to watch out for the rage. Sinji just needs to close it out. But will he be able to? Rags has him in the air. He needs to watch out for the rage. The slide from the Hydrant. Oh no, Sinji! Is this going to be it for you? Goes for the Shuttle Loop, but he lives! Charge the fruit.
all of this coverage from Sinji, and he's not letting Rags get an inch inwards on him. But all Rags needs is one solid confirm, and that's going to be that.
Be careful the back air with Max Rage.
Down
Oh no!
air. It's all right. This time Sinji not giving Rags any of a situation where he can give him, footstool him. None of that. Just go right for the trampoline so that we can end that out.
Yeah, getting flashbacks the last game. Oh my gosh, he catches someone. Oh my god. Sinji is a nut, dude.
No, he
He's
really
a
just
nut.
went and did it.
He's clowning. He's clowning, bruh.
He really just up and threw it. That's amazing. Listen, man,
Crazy.
bonus fruit, all of them, all have different angles. The only thing that's same across them is when they get Z dropped. They all behave the same. They all lose their special properties. But up throw, forward throw, and back throw, and down throw on the items, all different. And now, as the class has learned, the melon loves to just linger around when you throw it upwards. It not have been something that Rags is familiar with as he got caught completely bamboozled. But don't worry, because Game 5, we'll see what Rags has learned as fighting Sinji across these 4 games and see if that's going to be enough.
Or he's going to carry him off to the side here, go for a nair. Good DI from Sinji, not to die, and also not to get carried off the top. Going to eat a little bit of damage, but this is fine. This is part of the matchup that Sinji just has to be okay with. Yeah, I'm going to take a good chunk of damage every time I get hit by an up air string, but that's fine. As long as I still have my life, I can still fight. Oh no. Should be fine. Should be able to recover. Oh no. He doesn't get enough trampoline. No.
He could have gotten his trampoline, but I feel like he must have misinputted or
definitely
redirected himself with the power pellet.
That's going to be fine. Now he has to fight all the way back. Honestly, now that I look at it, it's going to be a very scary situation for Sinji. He has a lot of ground to make up for, especially on Game 5. That is not when you want to lose your stock like that. Oh no, extension? No, goes for a little bit too early. Needed at least 1 or 2 up airs, but was afraid Sinji might have air dodged. Perfect tech from Sinji, can go ahead and grab the ledge. But 66% on his Sinji. Drag down to the, oh, it might be curtains for our boy here.
Yeah, Rags is playing in fine form right now. He's being able to juggle Sinji with everything in his kit. I've never seen up tilt utilized like this. But Rags is doing what he can to keep Sinji at bay, keep him from establishing any of his controls with his items. And Sinji sits so far behind right now, 93% on his final stock. And
oh my god,
Rags big chillin'. He's been trying to make.
Oh my god, he gets him again. Sinji's alive.
And just like that, the up smash not
going deep. He wants the back air. Sinji has to air dodge. He goes for the down air, and that's gonna be it. Sinji gonna be eliminated by Rags in a kind of unfortunate Game 5 scenario. Loses that first stock very early. Granted, you have to give Rags credit there because he's the one who forced them in that pressured situation to begin with. Sometimes you can call that a forced SD, right? Like, granted, you know, I won't even call it an SD really.
It was one of those situations.
You know, it's like, it's
like Sinji found himself deep. He didn't find himself in a position where he had all of his resources at hand. He had to still trail his way back, just wasn't able to do it, and that sort of spelled the doom for him. Although it was very well played from Rags, as you